Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the world of Thetis. Thank you so much for joining me in this adventure. So we're going to pick up where we left off. If we look at our journal, we have the destruction of Lothering. I need to find either Ethinril or Miran in the gallows courtyard. Either might be willing to provide a way into Kirkwall. Okay, so that's what I need to do. And if I look at my map, there's Miran right there. So there's Miran, but where's the other one? Oh, actually, I see it up here on the mini map. So that's that way. I'm not sure exactly who to talk to first, so I'll just talk to him, just because I can see him.
Miran?
Huh. So you're Hawke, the nephew. Your uncle talked up a storm about you. He better not be blowing more smoke out his ass.
Oh, right. He like gave me like credentials in a sense.
I'd like to know more about you first.
Right. You're not a marcher like your uncle. The Red Iron is well known in these parts. We pick who we work for and keep our noses clean. But anyone screws with us, we mess them up. Makes sense.
Makes sense. I never pictured myself as the mercenary type.
My uncle doesn't seem the sort to hang out with mercenaries.
He doesn't. Gamlen cheated one of my men at a wallop match. You turn out, we'll call it even.
Oh, okay. So he got into some bad trouble, and that's how he knows him.
Getting us into the city will take a lot of coin.
Did I mention the Red Iron gets paid pretty well? Not to mention your uncle said your sister's a mage. We're willing to pay for that.
Oh, wait.
Apparently Uncle Gamlen likes to talk.
You stick with us. You'll be safe. For the year, at least.
Okay, so I'm going to say not interested for now, because I think I have to choose one of them two to work for. So I'm going to
I'll
say...
find some other way into the city.
So I'm
Let me know how that works out for you.
Okay, so I'm going to say not interested just so that I can... Okay, and I can talk to him again. So I just want to see what she has to say over here. Ethinril.
Are you Ethinril?
He must be Gamlen's nephew. Interesting. I don't know what he told you about us, but he certainly told us a great deal about you.
He didn't say anything about me, did he?
Enough to pique our interest, provided you can justify your uncle's confidence.
Is it just me, or does she have like a really big head? Her head seems much larger than her body.
I'd like to know more about what we'd be doing for you.
I can be honest. We don't compete with the Thieves Guild, but we keep our fingers in a lot of pots. That said, we're not killers or slavers. Anything short of that, however, is fair game.
Do what you want, but this sounds fishy to me. We can't afford to be choosy.
Okay,
How did you get to be one of my uncle's contacts?
Is that what he calls me? He owes us after that last big idea. If you turn out, though, we'll consider things even.
he owes us after that last big idea. So apparently he has these ideas that just don't work out. Like, it seems to me like Gamlen is constantly getting into trouble and like getting involved with the wrong people, and it is. I mean, he lost his home, he had to sell it to get rid of a debt. Like, he's not good at life, apparently.
I hear getting us into the city isn't cheap.
If you're as good as your uncle claims, we're hoping you'll be worth it. After all, it's not every day we're offered an apostate's services.
Oh my gosh, so everybody sort of knows she's an apostate.
Does everyone know about us?
If the circle hasn't descended upon you, my guess is no. The Templars in Kirkwall like to think they have all mages properly leashed, but when has that ever been true? We can keep them from taking notice while you're with us. Wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, of the two, I think I'm interested in doing her stuff. Smuggling sounds kind of interesting and intriguing. So I'm gonna pick this one.
Tell me what you need done.
There's a merchant named Cavril, friend of the Templars, so they let him set up his little shop here in the gallows. We supplied him in return for a piece of the take, but now he won't pay up. We can't go near him without him screaming for the guard, but you can. Get our money from him and you're in.
Okay, so he owes her money. Get Ethenril's coin from Cavril, the merchant in the Gallows Courtyard Market. Okay. So I need to go this way then. Okay, Merchant Cavril.
I've already told you, I can't give you any more for them.
But that was everything we have. It's all we brought with us.
And I feel for you, Sirrah, but it's the best I can do.
If they just let us into the city, I could get 3 times that price.
Myron?
Your business is done.
But...
Now then, what can I do for you, Sirrah?
Wow, that guy's kind of a jerk.
She didn't seem very happy with the deal you made.
What am I supposed to do? Buy every piece of furniture these people dragged with them?
I'm sure they'd rather not sell what little they have left.
My point is that I'm running a business, not a charitable order. I'm sorry.
I imagine the profits help with the guilt.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't think there'd be any stores here in the fortress.
There are many merchants who come here right now who can't afford the bribes to enter the city. So the Templars suggested having someone set up shop, temporarily. And I am the lucky man.
You mean you paid your own bribes to be here?
If they allowed everyone to set up shop, this place would turn into a bazaar. Sadly, there's only so much I can do for those Fereldens. Poor sods.
I'm sure you're very broken up over it.
I meant you. Folks like yourself.
I really like her little quips. Like, they're so clever.
I believe you owe your business partners something.
Oh, I see.
Should I go tell the guards?
Not just yet. I want to hear this. So, Ethenril sent you to collect, did she? Too cowardly to do it herself.
This is a hard decision. I just want to see what Aveline says.
Care to step in here?
Only because this toad deserves it.
Oh!
You have
Oh,
a choice.
wow. I thought she
Pay,
was going to stab him.
Or I beat it out of you, and your men.
Hey!
Stay back. Just take what's in the chest. Take it all. Now I'm getting out of here. Let those guards find someone else to buy Dogland junk.
Oh, wow. So that worked. Okay, I guess I picked the right choice there because... Well, obviously it worked out. So, okay. So we can take the 2 sovereigns that he owes her. So it says, bring Cavril's coin to Ethenril in the Gallows Courtyard. Okay, I guess that's pretty obvious. That worked out.
Here you go, as requested.
Will you look at that? Tell your uncle we'll make the arrangements. Welcome aboard.
Oh, I only lost 1 sovereign, which means I gained a sovereign. So she actually paid me a little bit. Okay, so the destruction of... Ethenril has agreed to provide a way into Kirkwall. Perfect. Oh, and somebody told me in the comments last episode that a few things I should say about some comments I've received. Number 1, I was told I should be leveling up manually because apparently, like, if I don't level up manually, then like it's not very good. So she's a mage, so that means that I know that she needs magic. So I'll give her a little bit of magic and maybe some willpower. I mean mana. Okay, magic resistance. I thought magic would give her better magic power, but... Oh, no, it says magic increases damage and attack values down there at the bottom in the description for mages. For all classes, it increases magic resistance. Okay, gotcha. And then willpower increases the size of the mana pool. So those are so important for a mage, I would think. And those are those points. And then she has this stuff. She's already got a lot going on in elemental, so maybe it's a good idea to keep it going. I mean, is it a good idea to keep it going? I think so. Kona Cold. Sure. I think that sounds good for her. Now, tactics, the second thing that everybody told me I should be doing, or not everybody, but a few people or one person, said that I should set up an action so that if I'm low on health, then I take a potion. So I guess what I'll do for Bethany is here, if her health is less than 25%, the action that she takes is that she uses an item and it's a health potion. Okay, perfect. I was like, how does this even work? But this makes sense. Okay, now I just got to do it one more time. So now she's a warrior, so I need to have a condition that if her health is less than 25%, then the action she takes is she uses a health potion. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, perfect. So that's good. And I guess the preset for Defender is fine. So there's that. Let's save. Let's back up. Okay, we're good. Oh, Codex update. Oh no, these are just things like locks. This is, Art of War. They try to call it something cool, but it's just controls. Oh, an ogre. Okay, guys, ogre time. Let's talk about the ogres. Towering over their darkspawn kin, the massive ogres are a rare sight on the battlefield. Traditionally, they only appear during a blight, but some records claim that ogres have been spotted in the deep roads hunting alone or in small groups. At least one report by the Grey Wardens claims that an ogre was spotted alone in the Coterie wilds in 919 Dragon, though it was weakened and easily dispatched. Up to 100 of these creatures can accompany a darkspawn horde at any time during a blight, often using their great strength to burst through fortifications and demolish the front lines of an opposing army. They use brute force to charge their enemies like bulls, slam the ground with their fists to shake enemies off their feet, and hurl giant rocks into the face of oncoming foes. Melee can be difficult against a giant that snatches a warrior up in one hand, crushing the life out of him or beating him into oblivion with the other hand. This is actually what happened to Kalen. That's actually what happened to King Kalen at the beginning of Origins. He snatched him up, and squeezed the life out of him, basically. And then I think he punched him and then threw him. The nimble can try to wiggle his way free, or an ally can attempt an array of stunning blows on an ogre to free the comrade in danger. Oh, I didn't even know that. This must be new in this game, that an ally can attempt an array of stunning blows to free the comrade in danger. I didn't realize that, but that must have been always a thing. So Grey Warden lore urges caution when slaying an ogre. Unless it is ensured that they have received a major wound to the head or the heart, it is possible that they are lying dormant and will regenerate to full health within a matter of minutes. During a blight, most Grey Wardens recommend burning all darkspawn to ashes, dead ogres in particular, because, quote, dead because they might not actually be dead. Okay, and a little bit more lore. We've got the city of Kirkwall, and it's important that I better understand this city because I'm going to be spending a lot of time here. So let's read this lore here. Also, for any of you new to my videos, I do read all of the books, but you can. I do put books. What is it? Chapters. I put chapters in the video, so if you don't want to hear the reading, you can always skip forward and skip the reading. Okay, Kirkwall once lived on the edge of the Tevinter Imperium and was home to nearly 1,000,000 slaves. Well, that would explain all of the slave statues that are all around the building. Stolen from elven lands or shipped from across the sea, all slaves fed the Imperium's unquenchable thirst for expansion. They worked in massive quarries and sweltering foundries that produced stone and steel for the Empire. The city's complicated past is not easy to forget, history having earmarked many corners of the stone city. Well, yeah, it's not easy to forget when they put slave statues everywhere. A ship approaching the harbor sports the city's namesake, an imposing black wall. It is visible for miles and carved into the cliffside or a pantheon of vile guardians representing the old gods. Over the years, the Chantry has affected many of these profane sentinels, but it will take many more years to erase them all. I said affected, it's effaced. I don't actually know what effaced means. Does that mean like remove? I'll have to look that up. But one sec, I'm going to look that up. Okay, I looked it up. So apparently, effaced means to erase from a surface. So basically, they got rid of them, but not all of them, and clearly there's still many left. Also carved into the cliff is a channel that permits ships into the city's interior. Flanking the channel are two massive bronze statues, the twins of Kirkwall. The statues have a practical use. Kirkwall sits next to the narrowest point in the waking sea, and a massive chain net can be erected between the statues and the lighthouse, closing off the only narrow navigable lane. Wow, well, at least there's some practical use out of them. This stranglehold on sea traffic is jealously guarded by the ever-changing rulers of the city as the net trolls taxes, tolls, and extortions in from the sea. From In the Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi. Brother Genitivi is like huge. He writes everything. Okay, and we've read all the others and all the other characters. So that's great. That's awesome. Now, I don't think they still, I don't think they still have slaves, do they? Oh, okay, Gamlin. I need to tell him about the news.
Any luck?
Yes, they've agreed to help us.
I'll speak to Athenril and see when the bribes can be made. Wait here.
Then we made it. The voyage is over.
Well, for a year.
We'll see what happens when this debt is repaid.
If only Carver were here with us.
And Wesley.
Let's just see what happens. We have a long year ahead of us.
So, is it gonna, like, skip a year forward in time? Or am I actually gonna,
Thus began the champion's first year in Kirkwall. Word arrived from across the sea that the hero of Ferelden had defeated the Blight.
Right, that would be my Origins character.
But Lothering was destroyed. Kirkwall was the champion's home now. So he remained, paying off his debt, made a name for himself in the underworld. It was a busy year in the city. That's when the Coterie landed. A great storm had caught their ship and left hundreds of warriors stranded in the city, waiting to return home. That's also when the trouble began with the mages. The Templars had become very powerful under Knight Commander Meredith. But, most importantly, that's when I first met the champion.
Wow, so the Coterie, I don't know hardly anything about the Coterie. Unfortunately, I let Sten die in the previous playthrough. I didn't realize he could have been a follower. All I heard was he murdered a family, so I was like, okay, well then let him die. But I don't know much about the Coterie, so I'm really excited to hear more about Coterie, the Coterie lore. What are they? Where do they come from? All of that. And this Knight Commander Meredith, is that her actually? Huh.
No. Andraste's tits, human. You know how many people want to hire onto this expedition?
But we heard you're going into the deep roads. Surely you'll need all the help you can...
No! You're too late. Already done. This is a sort of venture that can make a man for life. I'm not about to take any chances hiring random humans.
I'll buy you a drink before we head into the deep roads. Everyone wins.
Get in line, human. Half of Kirkwall wants to be my best friend right now. You're looking for a quick way out of the slums, right? You and every other Ferelden in this dump. Find another meal ticket.
What are we supposed to do now? We've got nothing to stop the next person who tries to sell us out. This expedition was our last chance.
Oh.
We've made a name for ourselves this last year. We'll find something.
We have to. We need coin, status, something we can hide behind. As long as we're just refugees, we're no one. Maybe Gamlen knows someone who can talk to Bartrand for us.
Okay, so 1 second. This is a year later, so the whole year has gone by, and I've done my servitude and made a name for myself. The Blight is over because Origins has been completed, that whole storyline during that year. Okay, so I'm just getting myself caught up on, like, what's going on here. Okay, so Gamlen... I mean, he did get us into this mess.
Gamlen is the reason we've been here for a year.
He got us into Kirkwall. We've been safe so far. We might as well ask. Otherwise, I don't know what we'll do.
She's got a point. I don't know what we'll do either. Oh,
hey!
Pickpocket. Oh, Jesus, that seems extreme.
I knew a guy once who could take every coin out of your pockets just by smiling at you. But you don't have the style to work Hightown, let alone the Merchants Guild. You might want to find yourself a new line of work. Off you go.
Oh, well, he's a good guy, isn't he?
How do you do? Varric Tethras, at your service. I apologize for Bartrand. He wouldn't know an opportunity if it hit him square in the jaw.
But you would?
I would. What my brother doesn't realize is that we need someone like you. He would never admit it either. He's too proud. I, however, am quite practical.
Okay, how cool is this guy with his, like, frickin' leather jacket and ripped open at the chest and twirling his arrow in his fingers? This guy's walking up like he's the coolest guy ever. Okay, so he wants to now, why would we need to go to the deep roads anyway? Isn't the Blight over? That's what I'm confused about.
You're part of Bartrand's venture?
That's right. The deep roads wouldn't normally be my thing, but I can't allow the head of our family to go down there alone. So as you might imagine, I have more than a passing interest in this expedition's success.
What makes you so certain we can help? You know nothing about us.
Oh, on the contrary. You've made quite the name for yourself over the last year. The Coterie has been squeezing smugglers out left and right, and the only group to survive owes it all to you two. The name Hawke is on many lips these days. Not bad for a Ferelden fresh off the boat.
There must be some way to persuade your brother to hire us on.
We don't need another hireling. We need a partner. The truth is, Bartrand's been tearing his beard out trying to fund this on his own, but he can't do it. Invest in the expedition. 50 sovereigns and he can't refuse. Not with me there to vouch for you.
That's your plan, really? To just... We don't have that much, or do we? I don't even know if we have that much.
I hope there's more to this, like how I'm supposed to get that much coin together.
Right, exactly.
You need to think big. There's only a brief window after a Blight when the deep roads won't be crawling with darkspawn. The treasure you find down there could set you and your family up for life.
It won't be easy, but it's a chance. I think we have to take it. Better to work our way into this expedition than sit around waiting to be thrown in the gallows.
We work together, you and I, and before you know it, you'll have all the capital you need. What do you say?
There might be nothing down there except darkspawn and rubble. How can you be sure we'll make a profit?
Well, Bartrand isn't grasping at strings. He's operating on some good information. Some of the deep roads are so old, even the dwarves have forgotten them. We just need to get down there. Then Bartrand will lead the way. You and I will be there to handle problems.
Interesting.
What makes you so certain you'll be useful to me?
I know everyone in this city worth knowing. I can help you find the jobs you need, and if you don't need me for that, there's always Bianca.
Bianca?
You named your crossbow.
And why not? She's a beauty. Isn't that right, sweetheart?
It does look like a nice bow.
What's to stop you from taking my investment and running?
You'll be traveling with the expedition, and I'll be at your side. If I cross you, you'll be the first one to know, and I'll be the last.
I mean, what other opportunity do we really have? So, okay, I guess so.
You have a deal.
Perfect. Kirkwall's crawling with work. You set aside some coin from every job and you'll have the money in no time.
Maybe Aveline can find us some work. She's got a position with the city guard now.
We should talk privately when you get the chance. In the Hanged Man, maybe. I'll be there when I'm not with you. Now, let's go see what trouble we can stir up.
Okay, so a lot has happened.
Cut purses in Hightown than in the rest of the city combined.
Oh, I've received items, codex entries. Okay, so we've got some stuff to catch up on. Okay, so first, I did hear him mention the Coterie, so we'll get to that in a second. But first, let's read about Bethany. So what's going on with Bethany? What is she all about? It says, I was just hoping it would be different here in Kirkwall. We're not running away. We're coming home. Yeah, I totally kind of get that. You're supposed to be coming home, but it's been hard work. Even growing up as an apostate has not dimmed Bethany's faith in sunny nature, though it has colored her view of the world. Bethany wishes above all else to be normal. She appreciates the trouble her family took to keep her out of the circle, but the running, hiding, and constant fear have taken their toll. Though she would never admit so to her mother, not after all she sacrificed to protect her, Bethany sometimes wonders whether she would be better off in the circle. At least there she would be with the other mages, confident she'd be serving the will of the Maker and not defying a millennium of religious teachings. Still, her first loyalty is to her family, despite her doubts. She gladly embraces her magic if it keeps them safe. She has a teasing rivalry with her twin, Carver, and greatly respects Garrett. Okay, so that's interesting. Bethany sometimes thinks to herself, hey, if I had just joined the circle, maybe my life would be a lot easier. Okay, great. So let's go with the Coterie. I heard Varric mention the Coterie in passing, but I'm not sure what it is, so I'm interested to hear what it is. Kirkwall is built on a solid foundation of greed and human suffering, and its underworld is a place where everything is for sale and everyone is fair game. I mean, that's definitely the vibe I'm getting so far. There are many criminal empires within the city, some of which have been around since the Imperium used Kirkwall as a hub in the slave trade. Alliances, spying, manipulation, betrayal, and open warfare is all commonplace in the never-ending struggle for power. The Coterie is a thieves' guild that has been around for almost a century, but until recently was never a major player in the underworld. Some 20 years ago, the strongest of the local criminal empires was an ancient guild known as the Sabrathan, but its leader was betrayed from within, and during the turmoil, the Coterie made a successful grab for power. Okay. Since then, they've sunk their claws into almost every level of Kirkwall, including the city guard, the Dwarven Merchants Guild, and some of the most influential citizens in the city. It's safe to say that the Coterie gets a slice of every pie, and very little goes on in Kirkwall that escapes their notice. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of Chance Scholar, Brother Chin TV. Wow, okay. So they're basically the Thieves Guild, and they sort of semi-run the city, it sounds like. The hero of Ferelden, so this would be interesting. The hero of Ferelden once belonged to a clan of Dalish elves. This is my original character. I love that it keeps that in the game. An encounter with a tainted magical mirror corrupted the hero and threatened his life, and only the Grey Wardens held the cure. To save the hero's life, the clan gave him to the Grey Warden commander Duncan and the Order, and unfortunately Duncan died on the battlefield. The hero fought and killed the archdemon, making the ultimate sacrifice and dying to save Ferelden. With the archdemon gone, the Darkspawn ranks broke, and the Horde was easily routed. Yes, that was an amazing playthrough. I hope you all enjoyed it. I've got quest updated, so find a way to become partner to the Deep Roads expedition. Bring 50 sovereigns to Bartrand. Oh God, I have so many new, so many new. Okay, go to Gamlen's home in Lowtown. Aveline may have information about working with the city guard. Talk to her at the barracks. And talk to Varric in Lowtown's Hanged Man pub. Okay, so what am I doing? Let's go to Gamlen's home in Lowtown. I'm going to make that the active quest because I think it's important to get to know, what it is that where I live. So let's battle axe. I mean, I'm a warrior, right? So I'm not sure what is best and what's not. Oh, 11 attack. I'll take it. Okay, and then Varric, he's got to level up, but I have to do that here. Attributes. Okay, so he is a rogue, so that means that dexterity and probably what else? Dexterity and cunning, right? Okay, cunning also determines a rogue's aptitude for picking locks and disarming traps. Okay, yeah. So let's give him that and more dexterity. And then for him, okay, so yeah, Bianca. So I think it's important to get his Bianca because he seems to be like his favorite thing in the world. So let's give him that ability. Okay, so we've got that. Our codex is updated. We already read that. Okay, so there's Bartrand and Varric. So let's read about Varric. I know everyone in this city is worth knowing. Varric was born 3 years after his father's exile from Orzammar into the world of the Merchants Guild. The ancestors never spoke, and paragons were the heroes in tall tales. The number of dances a Kalna lady gave to a lowborn ascendant boy were more pivotal than the reign of kings. That was a confusing sentence. While Bartrand ran the businesses and drove House Tethras ever higher up the social ladder, Varric looked after the family and their retainers. His mother, Lady Ilsa, suffered terribly from the trauma of her disgrace and exile, finding solace in liquor and smoke. It fell to her younger son to try to curb the worst of her drunken rages, to keep her from becoming a matter of public scandal, and to care for her while she fell ill from her excesses. Though he is famous throughout the Merchants Guild for his stories, Varric speaks rarely of himself and his family. Most of Kirkwall knows him. Everyone has bought him a drink at least once, for the sake of his fictions rather than his family connections. Okay, so brief synopsis. His father was exiled from Orzammar, and of course, any we know from the last game that anytime there's a dwarf that is exiled from Orzammar, they usually become merchants traveling the surface lands. Okay, and then let's read more about Bartrand. Bartrand Tethras. So Varric Tethras and Bartrand Tethras. Half of Kirkwall wants to be my best friend right now. Okay. So this would be Varric's brother, from what I understand so far. The history of Noble House Tethras stretches back to the foundation of Orzammar. Wow, that's a long time. The memories say that 3 times a child of House Tethras took the office of Assembly Steward. They held appointments in the Shaperate of Memories and the Shaperate of Golems, but no longer. In the second year of the reign of King Endrin Aeducan, Lord Andvar Tethras was found guilty before the Assembly of willfully manipulating proving matches in favor of his house. For this affront to the ancestors, he and all his house were sentenced to exile on the surface. Right, okay, this is making sense now. Andvar died a mere 5 years later, leaving behind his lady Ilsa, 10-year-old Bartrand, and 2-year-old Varric. So Bartrand and Varric are brothers indeed. Okay, so Lady Ilsa would be Varric and Bertrand's mother, and they are brothers, and Bertrand is about 8 years older than Varric. Exile, surface life, and the loss of her husband conspired against Lady Ilsa, who took to drink, leaving young Bertrand to manage what was left of House Tethras. Makes sense. By the time he was 15, Bartrand had doubled his family's fortune. Oh wow, he did a good job. The disgrace of House Tethras fueled his ambition, and his once noble title gave him an instant place among the Kalnas, the old money elite of the Dwarven Merchants Guild. He used it to build alliances and business ventures as if he were a member of the Orzammar Assembly. By the time Lady Ilsa died, Bartrand had made the Tethras family one of the guild's most influential, but wealth and power on the surface couldn't sate him. He began to court alliances with the wealthiest ascendant families, branching into banking and mercenary companies. Guild members mutter that nothing will satisfy Bartrand but a complete reconstruction of House Tethras' estate in Orzammar down to the rivers of lava built in Kirkwall. Wow. Okay, so it's interesting to learn more about the Tethras family and where they come from in their history. Okay, so based on all of that, I need to go to the home. I think this is where I'm supposed to go, based on the map. I'm gonna follow this little arrow because I think. Oh, not him. Oh, you know what? I noticed I don't have my other lady with me now. It's only 3 of us. Wonder what happened to her. Okay, so we need to go over here. So this is the city that I'm finally getting to
You don't seem
see.
to like your brother very much.
And here I thought it took blood magic to read minds.
I had a twin brother, Carver. He used to
Right.
nail my braid to the bed while I was sleeping. I never thought I'd miss him this much.
Sorry about your brother. Hey, you want mine? I got a spare.
Right. The Viscount's Way. I'm assuming this
They'll let anyone.
arrow is taking me to the home that I have set active, because I have a new home set as active. So I'm just following this, thinking that it's going to take me where I'm supposed to go. Okay, so there's like levels to this city? That's an interesting loading screen, how it lights up like that. There's no way. I live in this nice place?
How much longer do I have to wait? Messiah, please stop kicking the wall. Who are you to talk to me like that?
Aveline.
Aveline.
Hello, Hawke.
Been a while, hasn't it?
What? Oh, right. Sorry. It feels like we just talked. I've been keeping an eye on you. Information is one of the few perks of this job. Watch out for Bartrand. He's a son of a bitch.
Aha.
You know I don't like it when you have people watch me.
Saved me camping on your doorstep. After what we went through to get here, well, you're no child, but I take care of my friends. The places they have me patrolling, I've got time.
Still having trouble? I thought you were past all that.
Lately, I don't know. I've been pushed out to some dead patrols. Maybe I stepped on someone's toes.
You can be forceful.
My charm, right? I should be able to go where I'm needed. In fact, I might have a job for you. Let me know if you want to do a favor for Kirkwall. Otherwise, I'm here if you need me. Maker knows I could use more satisfying work.
Well, I'm sort of interested. What does she want?
All right, Aveline. You have something worth doing.
My patrols may be empty walks in the dark, but there's something big coming up, and I could use you. An ambush, probably for a caravan, although I can't find any shipments that match up. Doesn't matter though. Highwaymen waiting for someone to rob. I'm putting a stop to it, my district or not.
Oh, okay. So she's trying to, like, get back into the good favors by doing, good work.
You have a name, or anything else to go on?
Not important. If we show up and they attack, they're bad. Simple as that. I'll wager it's smugglers, though. Like I said, seems like an obvious trap for a caravan.
I like these little investigate questions because I get to learn more about what we're going to be doing and why.
You've been nosing around outside your commission.
I have contacts, and they're complaining about a lack of meat. Thugs and such. Someone is hiring. And one or two were told to prepare for travelers. You want to be good at this job? You pay attention to what's missing, and when people arrange escape routes.
Seems like you'd want to share this with your fellow guards.
I will, if you sit on your hands. I'll send my alerts, and someone else will lead a patrol. But there's profit and influence to be had. You're my friend, so I'm offering.
Okay, makes sense.
Aveline, you've got yourself a partner.
I knew I could count on you. They're hidden up Sundermount, remote and rough, but we can make good time with a shortcut this side. And no, you can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're acting on behalf of the Guard.
Okay. So Codex updated, and that's Aveline Vallen. So I'm interested to learn more about her as well. If it's family you protect, doesn't matter who it is, blood or not. Aveline was born in Orlais, but she never knew the country. Her father, Benoit Dulac, was a chevalier who lost his patrol to the game of intrigue. He fled to Ferelden while Aveline was an infant, and though his holdings were meager, he was determined she would have the life he had lost. She would become a knight no matter the cost. He eventually sold everything to sponsor Aveline into King Caelan's service. Oh wow, so she was part of King Caelan's service. Knightly skills seemed bred into Aveline's bones, but she had her doubts, starting with her namesake, Sir Aveline. So she pretended to be a guy. The first female knight of Orlais was orphaned, mocked for her looks, and murdered when she dared stand with men in tournament. Her glory lies in tragedy, but the living Aveline doesn't revere sacrifice. A principled death is still a death. Her father was proud of her, but she would never be the knight he wished for. Wow, so it didn't work out. Aveline married Wesley Vallen while serving in the Ferelden army. They were kindred spirits and determined guardians. His death during the Blight scarred her, not just his loss, but that she failed to protect him. Aveline has healed in the past year, but she has yet to forgive herself. Accordingly, she is fiercely protective of the Hawks and Garrett. They share a bond in loss, a connection she cherishes, but will not allow to be repeated. So, apparently she attempted to be a female knight, but it didn't work. Okay, so she attempted to be a knight, but or she was a knight. I'm a little confused as to this sentence here, but basically she tried to be a knight. Maybe it seems like it didn't really work out, and so she did something else. But okay, great, good to know. So she's a really good friend. So main plot: a friend in the guard. Oh, what happened to all the other quests? Oh, these are the current quests. These are the completed ones. Got it. I still want to go to the new home. There are some companions. Take Aveline to find the ambush hiding along the paths of Sundermount. The location of bandits will only be clear if she is present. Oh, okay. So let's mark that the active quest, just to go ahead and do this thing here that she would like us to do. And let's go find that
The Viscount must be terribly busy.
that place.
I've been waiting most of the day.
Yeah, leave area. Oh, wow. I didn't even know. Oh! This is how I get to the different places. What do all these buttons do? Oh my god, I'm overwhelmed. There's a mail there. There's this. What is this? Kirkwall Day. Free marches. Sundermount. Oh, this is the... Okay, that's how I do that. Okay, so there's Sundermount. There are lots of quests. Okay, I get how this... Night. Wow, you actually have to pick the night version? Okay. The day version. This is where I'm at right now. Oh, wow. Okay, I get all of this. Now it's making sense. Okay, so actually, since I've realized it works this way, then what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go to Gamlen's house because this is something that I've wanted to do. I just want to see, what does our home look like? Where do we live? Where is the place that we stay? And I can't get there. Oh, you have to access by Lowtown. So let's go to Lowtown just so that we can get to our home. I want to see what our home looks like. I mean, I feel like that's the number one thing we should do before we go adventuring and things like that. We should get to know where we live, right? Yeah, so let's go there. So I need to go this way.
Wish you lived in Orzammar?
Great ancestors, no. You know what Orzammar is?
Oh, Codex updated. Dang it.
Tunnels filled with nug shit and body odor. And every person there thinks he's better than you because his great-great-great-grandfather made a water clock or something.
But they're your people. Don't you even wonder what it would be like?
I have a good imagination. Why would I waste it on that?
Make her turn his gaze on you, child.
Yeah, he's talking about the Paragons.
I think Uncle Gamlen comes here.
Hey there, lovely.
This old city slums. Okay, so we live here, right? I can see... Is it here? Gamlen's home. Okay, I want to see this for sure. This is where we live, right? Maybe I'm overhyping it. A Mabari!
Hard to believe they left me nothing.
Wow. Well, Mother was pretty steamed when you ran off with your Ferelden apostate.
I'm still their daughter, their eldest.
Okay, so I can see there's a writing desk, and there's also Mother. I guess I should speak to Mother first before I go and do anything else, right?
My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
This is the way things are, Mother. Gamlen can't change it now.
Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Lancey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in short pants, lad. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Sounds like a yes to me.
Sounds like a yes.
I know the Amels were nobility, Mother, but not much else. Why don't you ever talk about them?
The Amels have been a noble family in Kirkwall since Garahel drove out the Fourth Blight. But we've always carried magic in our blood. It's been a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less.
Wow.
I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Please, Uncle. We have a right to see it for ourselves.
Maybe so. But you won't be seeing the bloody thing. It's still locked up on the estate, and that's long out of my hands.
You didn't take your parents' will?
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlen? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
Oh, I see. So, birthright. Bethany seems unsettled. Talk to her. Okay. But first, I want to... What is this writing desk all about? What is it? Oh, letters. Letter from Athenril. Hawke. Your year's up, and you're free to go. Despite what you think, we had a good thing working together. I might pass along an opportunity or two if you're willing to get your hands dirty. Stay safe, Athenril. Oh, nice. The Black Emporium. Greetings. You do not know who I am, but I have heard of you. I understand you might need items from my collection, as well as the means to obtain them. I do not extend this invitation to anyone, but you are not simply anyone, are you? Consider this an invitation to the Black Emporium. Enclosed are directions through the passages underneath the city, as is the charm to enter. If you give the charm to another, its permission will immediately be revoked, and the consequences will be unpleasant. Edo, Xenon. The Black Emporium, very mysterious. Okay, Bethany, what do you think?
So, I hate thinking badly of family, but did Uncle Gamlen seem a little slippery when he talked about Grandfather's will?
Yes.
If he, say, invested money that was meant to be Mother's, do you think he would tell us?
Gamlen can't say good morning without lying twice.
Mother's been in such a fit of melancholy since Gamlen told her how angry her parents were about Father. She told me she wishes she'd died with Carver. It's like coming here ruined every good memory of her childhood. I wish we could get some of it back.
We need to get that will.
Good. I'm glad we agree. Gamlen told me he gave the estate as payment to some slaver who beat him at dice.
That's what?
Apparently, our ancestral home is now a base for slavers from all over Tethras.
How could Gamlen let that happen?
I think there's a reason Mother didn't talk about him much. Seriously, though, those scum have no right to our family's things. We should break in there. Get the will for Mother. I already talked to both of them about this. Gamlen said they guard the front entrance well. But Mother gave me her old key. She said it should unlock the cellar. Apparently the sewers run right beneath the house.
Oh, wow. Okay, quest updated. Find Grandfather Amel's will, go to Darktown and break into the cellars of the old family estate. Wow, so much interesting stuff to be done. And I still have to take Aveline to the... I finally figured out, like, how to go places. There's the main plot, there's the companions. Okay, cool. So we've got a lot of fun stuff to do. I think next time, let's do one of the side quests, I guess. I think Birthright seems like a fun thing to do. Let's mark that as the active quest for next time. But I think it's getting to be a longer episode. I'm glad that I finally visited home and I get to see what home is like and what it's about. I've learned a lot this... Oh, wait, there's doors open. Oh, wow. What is all of this? Why is there... Oh, is this the DLC? Is this the DLC stuff? I have no idea what this stuff is. Maybe someone in the comments can let me know what all of these things are. I think it's DLC related. I just have a suspicion. Is this one of our rooms? I didn't realize these doors opened. Well, there's not much in here other than some hay. Okay. All right. Well, we've visited our humble little home. It's not much, but we might be able to get our old estate back. That's what it seems like it might happen. So anyway, thank you all for joining me on this adventure. I think that'll do it. Oh, look at him, all nice and cozy. So yeah, had a lot of fun. Learned about all of the characters in my party. Learned about their history. Gosh, a lot has happened in this episode. All right, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.